And now, aviation weather around Alaska.
Welcome, everyone, to Alaska Weather. I'm meteorologist Peter Chan, coming to you from the National Weather Service in Alaska region on this Wednesday, June 11th, 2025. And in the weather-related headlines across the state of Alaska, we have a weak area of low pressure in the southeast quadrant of the Gulf. It's going to combine with this easterly wave that may bring some additional, mainly light rain to the panhandle, especially northern panhandle, come later Thursday afternoon into Thursday night. But of more importance is a building ridge of high pressure, especially mid and upper levels of the atmosphere, that's going to bring much warmer temperatures across the mainland. In fact, a number of spots in the interior are going to be in the 70s and 80s coming up here as we go through the weekend. This is going to lead, though, to rapid snowmelt and runoff along the north slope because that warmer air is going to ride over the Brooks Range. And they're going to see temperatures along the north slope in the 60s, even some readings above 70. And so the potential exists for a rapid snowmelt and runoff that could lead to flooding there on the north slope rivers. And then along the west side of the state, including the Aleutians and the lower portion of the Alaska Peninsula, a moist southerly flow of air is keeping low cloudiness, some fog, and then some periods of either light rain or rain showers that'll be going the rest of this week and into the early weekend. So looking at the north slope, partly sunny, 48 degrees. These are actually altocumulus clouds that are harbingers of warmer air coming in aloft. So that's kind of interesting seeing that there, which is true. Warmer air is going to continue to spread northward down the north slope and toward the Beaufort Sea coast. Meanwhile, the Bering Strait at Wales, it's really windy there this afternoon. Low stratus clouds and fog, temperature only 40 degrees. See the ripples on the water here, and there's the out over the strait. Look at the surf. Winds are over 40 miles an hour there. And then Nenana on the north side of the Alaska Range, partly cloudy. These are fair weather cumulus clouds, 73 degrees already as of mid-afternoon. And again, a number of temperatures in the interior are going to be rising into the 80s this weekend. Juneau, partly cloudy, 62. That easterly wave coming out of western Canada may bring some rain showers to the Juneau area starting tomorrow, Thursday afternoon, and continuing into Thursday night. So the main weather concerns are these two things. The area highlighted in blue is a special weather statement just for to highlight the really warm temperatures coming up here for the interior, 70s and 80s. And it's looking like potentially the really warm temperatures could continue beyond even the early middle part of next week. But nevertheless, these really warm temperatures, as you know, brings out the biting bugs. So the mosquitoes, black flies are going to be coming out in force with this warm up. Also, it's going to increase the fire danger. It's going to help dry things out. Plus, we're going to start to see some scattered showers and thunderstorms, so there could be some fire starts due to lightning strikes. So this will all be increasing, especially as we get through the weekend and into next week. Meanwhile, the warm air is just going to come up over the Brooks Range and go down the north slope, and it's going to warm the air so that even there, with all the snow cover, it's been a snowy winter there through the Brooks Range, very decent heavy snowpack. It's going to cause that snowpack to rapidly melt, and that runoff will then come on down the various North Slope rivers. That includes the Sag River, Colville River, and Kuparik. So any of these major rivers draining the Brooks Range could see some rapid water rises and flooding. So the threat is going to run from Friday morning through at least Tuesday afternoon. And there could even be the potential, so rapid snowmelt, flooding, and ice jams could lead to flooding in that area. And the main thing is that could impact access to airstrips, roads, low-lying infrastructure. So keep an eye on things up there because this is going to be, I think, a really quick, notable event. And then fire danger. Right now we have very high fire danger across much of the interior. This is the grass component because grass is the main carrier of fire in the early fire season. But we're starting to transition. Once we get around and after the solstice, which is coming up here in another just under 10 days, we look at spruce. And you can see the area here of the interior, especially the Tanana Valley, Yukon Flats, back out here toward the middle Yukon. So these areas here are seeing increasing fire danger, and with these warmer temperatures and the potential for some lightning strikes, the fire danger is going to only go upward as we go into through the weekend and next week. So on the satellite imagery, we have another push of moisture. There's a low down here. It's not very strong. And then we have some energy that's kind of trying to do this from Western Canada. Easterly wave, we call it, because it moves from east to west instead of the normal prevailing wind west to east. And so that has the potential to bring some additional rain into the Panhandle on Thursday, starting Thursday afternoon, especially Thursday night. Meanwhile, areas of the interior that are seeing clear skies are really warming up nicely. And then back out here to the west, it's just low cloudiness. We have the southerly flow coming in off the North Pacific across the Aleutians, the lower Alaska Peninsula along the west coast, through the Bering Strait into the Chukchi Sea. And this is just helping to maintain and create these low stratus clouds and fog, along with some areas of either light rain showers or light rain. And part of the reason we have this area of low pressure, it's not strong, but it's just sitting out here in the western Bering. Included front ahead of it is just that helps. It's like a conduit, just helps stream that moisture from the North Pacific northward. Meanwhile, this week low in the southeast quadrant of the Gulf, not very strong, but we have an easterly wave that'll be working westward as we go through the day Thursday. So here we have still that low sitting off of the Panhandle coastline down and through areas of the southeast Gulf. And by the time we get into Thursday, especially evening into Thursday night, there's going to be some rain showers or areas of rain working their way westward. In the interior here in the southeast quadrant, there'll be some scattered showers and thunderstorms. And then back to the west, we have this low sitting in the near central Bering with the occluded front and just that steady stream of moist air coming in from the south. It's not a strong push of warm air, but it's strong enough in the sense that you have the colder waters of the Bering Sea. So it's a perfect environment to form those low cloudiness and fog, along with some areas of rain or rain showers. And then for Friday afternoon, we have the low, kind of actually strengthening a bit, but it's off of Haida Gwaii and well off of the outer Panhandle coast. And there's that hint, that wave working its way westward. And then we have a thermal. This is a thermal trough or low that sets up as the temperatures warm across the interior. And then this low out here deepens to 984 millibars, so a bit breezier around it come Friday. And then on Saturday, the one low in the Gulf kind of slips a little further southward along the Gulf North Pacific interface. We have the thermal trough setting up here through the interior with some scattered showers and thunderstorms popping up with the daytime heating. And as I mentioned, temperatures are going to be rising here into the 70s and 80s, and even areas of south central Anchorage will likely hit its first 70-degree reading officially at Ted Stevens Airport, and places like Talkeetna will get above 70. So it's going to be a very warm weekend. And then back out here, at least for Saturday. Sunday, we'll see. There's a potential that westerly wave or easterly wave can move westward with some moisture that could initiate some showers along areas of south central by the time we get into midday Sunday, and especially Sunday afternoon and night. Back out here, we have another low coming up from the North Pacific, and then these troughs, just keeping the unsettled, cool, moist, low cloud, foggy flow along the west coast. Temperature-wise, Thursday morning, most places will stay above freezing, though I should note, king salmon this morning, Wednesday morning, had a record low of 29 and had a record low of 30 on Tuesday morning. A little more in the way of warming is expected come Thursday morning, and we expect most lows in most areas of the state to be above freezing. But look at these warm temperatures, 70s throughout the interior on Thursday. Potentially an isolated 80-degree reading is not out of the question. We could see 69 at Talkeetna is not warm enough. It's going to likely hit or exceed 70 there. And then through the Panhandle, because you are going to see some increasing clouds and the potential for some rain developing, especially over the northern half of the Panhandle in the afternoon and evening. So that'll tend to keep temperatures down there. And then further along the west coast, somewhat breezy conditions, and then also just cooler temperatures in the 40s for highs, only 39 over at Savunga on St. Lawrence. Friday morning lows, again, generally above freezing most areas, and you got temperatures in through the Yukon Valley, middle upper Yukon Valley, at or above 50 in some cases. Readings in the 40s for the Panhandle, generally in the 40s here for South Central, and as we get further west, it could be 36 or so at Savunga, 39 at St. Paul. And then temperatures come Friday afternoon, yes, 80s showing up at Fairbanks, Fort Yukon. And with these warmer temperatures, you're going to likely have some scattered thunderstorms popping up in and around the middle upper Tanana Valleys, Alaska Range, Talkeetna Mountains, potentially Wrangell, St. Elias, on up into the lower Yukon Flats, 40-mile gold country. So here is the 6 to 10-day temperature outlook that takes us past mid-month up into and just beyond the summer solstice. Summer solstice this year occurs on June 20th, and it really favors the warm temperatures across the interior, Brooks Range, north and the Alaska Range, especially the middle upper Yukon, centered on Fairbanks, going up to Arctic Village, Bettles, toward Tanana, Haisley. You're going to have very warm summer temperatures, 70s and 80s. Cooler than normal, though, out over the Panhandle, perhaps because some occasional showers and cloudier conditions. But that's the temperature outlook. And then precipitation-wise, we're not looking for any focused area of above normal precipitation, but this is kind of more of a blanket, just a little above normal, because with this kind of pattern, the little bit of moisture that gets introduced with that heating, it leads to scattered showers and thunderstorms with the afternoon and early evening heating. And certainly the Panhandle along the Gulf Coast could still see some showery weather at times, perhaps a little below normal precipitation along the lower Yukon coast and extending out along the Alaska Peninsula.